Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Tuesday. It is so good to be able to connect with you again today. Today's a little extra special day. It's always awesome when we get together and connect on video, and Miss Paris gets to be able to read you a story and we get to do some work. But today, boys and girls, we also have a birthday. We want to say a big happy birthday to JJ. Happy birthday, JJ. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear JJ. Happy birthday to you. We are so excited that today is your birthday. Today, boys and girls, is Zoom. If you're looking at this video in the morning on Tuesday, Zoom is at 1 o'clock. We also have it on Thursday at 1 o'clock. But the last few Tuesdays, we've been having a mystery reader. If you remember, we had Gracie, my daughter, read to you a story one Tuesday. It was a surprise. Last Tuesday, we had Coach Keener surprise us with a story. And today, at 1 o'clock, we have another mystery reader. So you have to see who it is. But today is the 28th. Can you say April? The 28th, 2020, or 2020. There we go. April the 28th, 2020. As we said, it's JJ's birthday, and JJ is, how old do you guys think? He's 6 years old. It's exciting to have these birthdays. We have another birthday coming up in May, but it's so fun to celebrate birthdays. And today, boys and girls, is, we said, Tuesday. Tuesday makes that T sound. There's my capital T for Tuesday. If today's Tuesday, tomorrow will be Wednesday. And if today is Tuesday, yesterday was Monday. Good job. So today, Tuesday. And again, happy birthday, JJ, today. All right, well, boys and girls, we're going to look at a verse today. It is found in Ephesians. It makes a long E sound. Ephesians 4:32. And we've had this verse before. And it says, "Forgive each other just as God forgave you." Remember how we talked about that when we make mistakes and we sin and we go to the Lord and we ask for forgiveness, that He throws those sins, the Bible says, from the east to the west. He remembers them no more. We don't have to worry about Him remembering something that we did wrong. He forgives us. And the Bible tells us that we also need to forgive others. That when other people do something wrong to us, whether it's on purpose or an accident, that we need to forgive them. Maybe brother and sister accidentally break a toy that's important to us, and it was a special gift, and they're sorry. We need to say to them that we forgive them. All right, we want to be forgiving, just like Jesus forgives us. So let's remember that verse, especially as we're at home and we're working with mom and dad and brother and sister and all doing different things together. Let's remember we want to be like Jesus. And one of those ways is to forgive one another just as He forgives us. All right, well, today I have another story about Franklin. I just love stories about Franklin, and I love the bright, colorful pictures, the illustrations that come along with Franklin. Stories and all the animals and his friends that join in. And in our story today, it's called Franklin is Bossy. You guys know what it means when somebody's bossy? Yeah, I think we do. Have you ever been bossy with anybody? Has somebody been bossy with you? Probably so. Now, there's a difference, bossy. Of course, mommy and daddy, they're not being bossy. Mommy and daddy are telling us what we need to do. We need to listen to mommy and daddy. And teachers like Miss Paris, that's different than just being bossy and telling people what to do in a different way, isn't it? So when mommy and daddy are telling you it's time to brush your teeth or get ready for bed, they're not being bossy. They're trying to help you do what you need to do. Franklin is being bossy a little different way with his friends. So let's find out how Franklin's being bossy today. All right, great picture here in our book. Franklin the turtle could zip zippers and button buttons. He could count by twos and tie his shoes. He had lots of friends and one best friend named Bear. They played tag and marbles, hopscotch and ball, but one day something awful happened. Franklin and Bear had a fight. It was a steamy summer morning. Franklin told his friends, "Let's play marbles." And they did. After a while, Franklin said, "I'm tired of marbles. Let's have a race." "You always pick the games," grumbled Bear. Franklin paid no attention. They started to run. Bear was in the lead. Goose followed close behind. Franklin saw that he was losing and cried out, "Slowest one wins," as he crawled across the finish line last. "That's not fair," said Bear. Franklin ignored him. "I'm tired of running. Let's play baseball." Bear did not put on his mitt. He did not put on his cap. He was mad. "It's too hot. I don't want to play," said Bear. "Me neither," said Beaver. "It's not too hot," said Franklin. "Is too," said Bear. "Is not," said Franklin. "I don't want to play with you, Franklin," shouted Bear. "And I don't want to play with you either," Franklin shouted back. Franklin stomped all the way home. "What's wrong?" asked his father. "There's no one to play with," answered Franklin. "Maybe your friends will come by later," said Franklin's father. "Maybe," he said. In his room, Franklin built a castle. He made a cave to be brave in. He made shields and swords and suits of armor. He drew pictures. He played house. He read stories. He played by himself for 1 whole hour. And then he didn't know what to do. So Franklin went looking for company. His friends were in the river cooling off. "Are you still hot?" he asked. "No," they answered. "Then let's play ball," said Franklin. Before anyone had a chance to say a word, Franklin started giving orders. "Bear, you play first base. Goose and Beaver, you go to the outfield. I'll be the pitcher." "No way," shouted Bear. "I don't want to play with you. You are too bossy." All of Franklin's friends nodded. "Bear's right," they said. Franklin turned his back and went home. There was no one to play with and nothing much to do, so he helped his father all afternoon. They weeded the garden and washed the floors, and they made supper for Mole because he was sick. "You're a good friend," Mole told Franklin's father. On the way home, Franklin asked, "Do you and Mole have fights?" "Sometimes," said Franklin's father, "but we always make up." Franklin played alone for another whole day. He missed Bear and his friends, and he had lots of times to think. He would go to Bear and apologize. Franklin and Bear met on the bridge. "I was coming to your house," said Franklin. "And I was going to your house," said Bear. "I'm sorry," said Franklin. "It was all my fault." "No, it was my fault," said Bear. "Mine," said Franklin. "No, mine," said Bear. "Stop "Stop!" shouted Beaver, who was listening under the bridge. "This is silly." Beaver slapped her tail so hard that Franklin and Bear jumped, and they started to giggle. "Friends?" asked Franklin. "Friends," said Bear. Beaver wanted to play baseball. Bear and Goose and Duck agreed. They were picking teams when Franklin insisted on being the pitcher again. All together, his friends shouted, "No fair, Franklin." Franklin knew they were right. He couldn't always be pitcher. It was his turn to play in the outfield. And it wasn't so bad, for although Franklin didn't catch a single ball, he did catch lots of flies. That's a good story, boys and girls. A great reminder from Franklin what kind of friend we want to be to one another. All right, let's be that friend that lets others maybe take turns picking a game instead of always being the one that has to pick the game. And we want to be a good friend to everyone. All right, let's see. We want to move to our handwriting, and I've got an idea today with our handwriting. I have noticed looking at your packets, boys and girls, you've been doing a great job. So when you look at your handwriting today, here's what you're going to be able to do on 153 and 154. All right, you can write your name like we always do. We can look at row 1 and see what letter is that. H. Can you think of an H word? Happy? Happy. Happy, happy. Happy, happy. Kind of goes along with happy birthday. Today, boys and girls, on row 2 and 4, all you have to do is trace the gray. All right? Miss Paris is not going to have you write the sentence. So look how I put an X on that. All you have to do is trace the gray. Trace the gray. You don't have to also write the letters. Practice reading them. I had a black hen. The hen had, number word, 10 eggs. And again, if you need to cover up that S, just trace the gray. All right, and if you want to, they got some coloring on there. On the back, same thing. We're not going to have to write the sentence again. You guys are doing a really great job on your handwriting. Let's just trace the gray, Mom and Dad. So just go a little faster. Their handwriting's looking really nice. I think we're very good spot for that for first grade. Maybe that'll cut down on some of the time at the table also. Row 1, let's continue practice reading though. Bev went, tricky word, to a picnic. That's a little longer word, of course, a period. She had fun, exclamation point. So we do not need to write the sentence again. All we're going to do is what, boys and girls? All you have to do is trace the gray, but still practice reading those. And hopefully that won't take quite as much time. And then, of course, if you want to color, there is plenty of coloring on both of those. All right, so let's go ahead and work on that. And then we're going to come back and we're going to work on our reader. Remember, we are in our yellow book. All right, great job.